Okay, Larry, first opened in 2006. Here's a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Coming up, we've got a good matchup.
Get ready. Blue 95. Blue.
They'll send Brown in motion right.
Regular. Zebra.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover. Great moves in short areas.
5 yards left for the offense. It's second down.
Get ready.
On second down, here's Palmer. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
When I watch Khalil Mack play, I just see fury, passion, and incredible athleticism. This guy can flat out play.
Now just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Against Miami, Johnson up over 100 yards from scrimmage, and he's done that all 13 games so far this season. That ties Edgerrin James for the longest streak to start a year. Pretty impressive.
Really impressive. I mean, when you look at what he has done, especially on the ground, 80 yards in this game, catches it, of course, 41 yards against Miami, caught the two-point conversion that tied the game and sent it into overtime. There's simply not much that David Johnson can't do, and if their record warranted it, we'd be talking about him for the MVP.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, there's the first time in this game that Carson Palmer finds Larry Fitzgerald. Likely won't be the last, but how about the way these two have helped each other's careers?
Yeah, they really have. It's hard to believe with Fitzgerald, well, really both of these guys, how long they've been in the league now. But Fitzgerald, gosh, 3rd overall pick back in 04.
Yeah, how about that? Remember, Carson Palmer, a former Heisman Trophy winner, he's finally found a real home in Arizona.
They go play action here on first down. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
All right, now.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Let's go, let's go. One. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Let's go, let's go.
They go to Johnson again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now. But you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is right through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. To return, it's DeAndre Washington. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. First carry for Latavius Murray. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
All right, here we go.
Shift together here from the D-line.
We ready? There we go, rally. Red 18. Red 18. Hey, we're going to rally.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Well, when the passing game wasn't working last Thursday night, the running game was. Latavius Murray up over 100 yards. It's interesting, only his 2nd 100-yard performance this year, but he has hit pay dirt 12 times.
He does run with a purpose when he handles the football, and I think a lot of that stems from the question marks in the offseason always revolved around Oakland's running game. Who would be the primary ball carrier? And he kept saying, I've been here for a while. I'm going to be, and he proves it with each carry.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go.
They'll turn to the power game at Ola Waller. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On first down, Murray. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Clock winding down. They go with Murray again. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. Caught left side to Crabtree. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Arizona trotting back onto the field, getting ready to take over on offense. It's interesting for this crew. You know, they badly needed a win in Week 14. Didn't get it. But still, they're not out of playoff contention. There's still a glimmer of hope.
And they played like it on Sunday. I know they lost the game to Miami. We understand they lost in overtime. But they were really essentially getting jumped on in that game. Hung in there, battled their way back, tied the game. So there's a reason they're still mathematically involved in this. They never quit. They don't give up.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
2nd down now after the incompletion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go.
2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. Screen play, Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Palmer will throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Let's go.
Palmer now off the bootleg. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
J.J. Nelson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Throwing is Palmer. This will be caught at about the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
Right now.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Palmer to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 3rd and goal, Palmer. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A gain of 35 that time, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws. And
looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. A great read. It's a foot race. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Carr now on first down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Hey, we're going to rally. All right, here we go. Red 18, zebra.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Carr to throw, and that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On third down, here's Washington. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, We step aside.
Here we go. Wide. Zebra. Zebra. Hey, we go. All right, here we go.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They go play action here on first down. He's got time. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. You know what I want to do right now while we have a moment? I want to hand out Charles Davis's hardware for top performers week 14.
Okay, if we're going to do that, can we start with Le'Veon Bell with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Sure would.
236 yards on the ground, ended up with 298 overall in the snow in Buffalo, and led his team to a win.
Who else you got? I know you like Vic Beasley's performance for Atlanta.
Well, 3 sacks, including a touchdown after the strip sack. He picked it up and ran it in. And I have to mention Aaron Rodgers. Playing hurt, had a hamstring 2 weeks ago, a calf this week. The Packers are on a nice little run now, pressing for a playoff spot.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Now Carr with a give to Murray. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And quickly, they get to the line. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on 3rd down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a 1st down.
Crabtree with it over the middle. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Defense showing blitz. Throwing now is Carr. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now the rookie's free. Past the 20. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, it's Holmes. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Carr is caught. Reception by Holmes. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And they're going to speed things up here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll come out in the pistol. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Surveying the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Raiders get a score closer. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Carr going to throw, finding time, and he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Well, a fun league-wide story, no matter who we're covering, is Detroit. Another come-from-behind win for Matthew Stafford and company. They're now 9-4 this year.
How about 13 games? 12 of them they've been behind in the fourth quarter. 9, as you just mentioned, they've won. And Matthew Stafford's the key reason why. He has to be in the discussion for most valuable player, the way he's rallied his team. And I'm going to flip it over. There's one other guy we've got to talk about from the AFC side. He had a rough game in his last out against Kansas City. But Derek Carr has had a magnificent year, and the 2 of them are both playing hurt. Injuries to their throwing hands.
Here we go.
Now Palmer on first down. Caught right side. Gresham. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Second down now after the pass completion. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Regular.
Play action. It's Palmer. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought down. Well out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Here's Carr. He's got time in the pocket. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. A gain of 35 that time. And that'll be good for an Oakland first down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, They say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And now they're in the hurry-up. Carr turns, hands to Murray. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Carr. That's caught at the 1. A gain of 6 there on first.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
Let's go.
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
One receiver right, that's Brown.
Blue 58.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to look. Oh, wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Brown, 43 yards. And the Cardinals capitalize on the fumble as they turn it into 6. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Fourth quarter, 2-minute warning about to hit, and it looks like they're going to get one more play in.
It'll be interesting to see what they try and do on this play. Do they try and take a shot, or do they just try and get to the 2-minute warning?
To throw, it's Carr. He's got time. He's going to let it fly. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. Now a oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Andre Holmes, 75 yards. And the Raiders get a score closer. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Carr, surveying the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Really nice connection on the corner route. This is a play where the receiver wants to set up the defensive back by moving him inside and then breaking back to the corner.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Again, we'll see the pistol here. First and goal at the 3-yard line now. Now they'll run. Murray. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Throw on second down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. And now the Raiders will face an important 2-point conversion attempt here. A toss to Murray. But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Palmer. This is caught inside the 15. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now a first down following that long gain.
Here we go.
Oh, Palmer looking to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So 2nd and 10 here. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Palmer to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Throwing now is Palmer. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. That one was intended for John Brown. And 4th down coming up.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now it's Palmer. This will be caught at about the 6. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Murray the lone setback. Now Carr. Brought in by Walford, right side. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go. Red 18.
One final try now for Carr. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.